Y'all, let me tell y'all about my grandmother's favorite song. Okay, this was my grandmother's favorite song, made her soul rest. She said, if anybody asks you where I'm going soon, amen. I'm going up yonder. Listen, TikTok has gone up yonder, baby. At least for now. I don't think it'll be forever, but right now I'm annoyed. I've never seen the government come together to stop something that so many people were enjoying and profiting from. In my life, in my 30 years of living, I've never seen them come together for something that truly didn't matter in the grand scheme of all the problems that we have in this country, like they came together for TikTok. Let's talk about it. So at the time of this recording, it is Sunday, January 19th. So imagine last night, I was so tired. I had a kid-free weekend this weekend, and I go to bed. I fell asleep at like 8 p.m., right? Imagine falling asleep, and when I wake up, I'm scrolling, like I had TikTok open, like the app was open on my phone, right? So it did allow me to scroll, but nothing would load. Like I couldn't like anything, I couldn't comment. So then I'm like, what's going on? So I go look on another app and they said TikTok has gone dark. Now, if you've been on TikTok, you have heard people saying that this was going to happen, that TikTok was going to go dark, right? But then you have the White House saying, oh, that's just a stunt from TikTok. It's not going to go dark, right? But it did. It went dark today. And now if you go on the app, you get a message that basically says it's been banned in the US. And then it says like we're thankful that Donald Trump or President Trump or whatever is willing to come to some type of agreement, right? You cannot trick me, okay? Because the whole reason that the TikTok ban was even brought on the table was because of Donald Trump, okay? And I have been on TikTok since late 2019, early 2020. Like, my kids are almost 5, and I've been on TikTok since I was pregnant with them. So, to credit Donald Trump with listening or wanting to come to a conclusion, or not a conclusion, wanting to come to some type of resolution, it's silly to me. But I see what you're doing, okay? Because he introduced the idea of banning TikTok, and then of course Joe Biden just went with it, never tried to change anything. Congress came together like a Super Saiyan to go ahead and push that all the way up to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court upheld it. And now if Trump comes in and figures out a way to extend it or turn things around, then he'll be seen as a hero. No. All of y'all, Republicans and Democrats, all of y'all are on my list, okay? Flint still does not have clean water, and y'all came together to ban TikTok. And here's the thing. Before I go any further, I don't worship politicians, okay? Because I noticed when I said stuff about Donald Trump, I would get a lot of comments from people who, if they could call me, slurs without that proving my point about a lot of Trump supporters being racist, they would have. But they would bring up stuff about Joe Biden, like, oh, well, Joe Biden has done this, or he sat with this racist person. Okay, like, I believe you. I believe you. He said, oh, white man in America. That's not groundbreaking information. I don't worship Joe Biden, and Joe Biden has done a lot of things that I don't like. Okay? I'm really done with all these politicians that were keeping it really funky, especially these ones who think that they don't work for us. Our Congress people, you work for us. I want you to know that, right? You work for us, but every day the government is telling us that it's not about us, it's about what they want. Because here's what it really comes down to. I hear a lot of people who were not on TikTok or whatever, they're happy about this because they don't even understand that 90% of the trends that they're getting on these other apps are coming from TikTok, right? The whole reason that we have Reels on Facebook and Instagram is because of TikTok. The reason there's YouTube Shorts is because of TikTok, right? These trends are because of TikTok. Y'all, we listen and we don't judge. Y'all thought that was Facebook statuses. It wasn't. That was a TikTok trend that went over to Facebook, right? And not only that, TikTok opened up a gap in the market. A lot of people worked for TikTok and a lot of people were creators on TikTok. I never got into my creator bag on TikTok. Sorry, y'all. Oh. I'm not crying. My eyes just water really bad. But I never got into my creator bag the way that I should have on TikTok. But I know a lot of people personally who were working these minimum wage jobs, or not minimum wage, but what minimum wage should be, okay? Barely $20 an hour, working these jobs, not really being able to sustain themselves. And they found a way to supplement their income on TikTok, right? And if you're someone like me who's a mother who may not be able to go outside and get a second job, it was a really, really good opportunity. People have opened up shops, small businesses. I think TikTok, I don't know the exact figures, but TikTok generated like 7-8 figures into our economy, right? And the fact of the matter is all of our politicians can be bought, right? All of them. So these big businesses, Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, they don't want this. They don't want this. They want to have a monopoly on the creator market, right? Content creator market. And you know, I'm sticking with YouTube. I'm still trying to build this brand. But I definitely don't think that this is all about China and data, because first of all, the creator of TikTok is Singaporean, right? I think a lot of people who are not on TikTok think this is about China and data. What the problem is, America wants to have all the access to your data. They want to have a monopoly of your data. And not that I want China to have my data, but at the end of the day, that's just a cover up for what it really is, okay? Because also, TikTok was a discourse app. You're able to have discourse, the way that the algorithm works, you're able to have discourse in a way that you just cannot have it on these other apps, right? Even being on YouTube, I've only been posting on YouTube for what, a month, a little over a month, maybe 5 weeks. And I noticed that like certain discourses are not going to get pushed out. When I specifically talk about Black people, that does not get pushed out, right? When I talk about Donald Trump, it'll get pushed out, but it'll go pushed out to people who aren't trying to hear what I'm saying, right? It's not actually getting pushed out to people who are willing to have a conversation and a thoughtful exchange. It'll get pushed out to people who want to berate me, right? So I noticed like it's just not a forum. Hold on, y'all. Let me see what my dog is chewing on. I don't know. He ain't bothering me, but I don't know where he be finding all this stuff to chew on. I buy all these toys for him to chew on, and he just finds stuff on the floor and under the couch and stuff. Anyway, but back to what I was saying. These algorithms on these other apps are not set up in the way that TikTok's algorithm was set up. And I don't know if TikTok is going to sell. If they sell to Meta, I would rather see a merger between YouTube and TikTok than them go to Meta. I would like to see YouTube do something with Shorts where maybe Shorts is its own app outside of YouTube. I think that there's a market for that, right? Because I feel like YouTube Shorts could be decent, but the way that the algorithm works right now with YouTube Shorts is just not working. But I'm not going to bash Shorts because I do get a lot of views off of Shorts and it's fun. But anywho, a lot of these algorithms aren't as good as TikTok's algorithm. And it's not that these people can't do it. They can't mimic the algorithm. They don't want us to have that type of discourse, right? They want to be able to push us certain things in the algorithm, right? Elon Musk, in the app formerly known as Twitter, he wants to be able to push what he wants us to see, right? these other Meta, they want to be able to push what they want us to see, right? Everybody has a price. Everybody can be bought. And what these politicians have shown me today is they can be bought, right? Even though they're supposed to be working for us. And I would love for people to, Democrat or Republican, to show these people that you cannot go against what we want and still have a job. But I don't know if y'all scared or what. Because I will not vote for you. I'll vote for somebody else. I have no problem. That's the least I could do, right? But it's just really unfortunate. People, you know, people are really going to be affected by this. And not only just the creators. People work for TikTok. I know the whole thing has been about this being a Chinese app, but like the servers and corporations headquarters are in America, right? So this could put people out of a job. Like, it's just going to affect us in such a negative way. And I feel like we're being punished. I feel like we're being punished for not wanting to go back to the office and not wanting to work for pennies on the dollars and finding a way to not have to do that, because it's a lot easier to get monetized on TikTok than it is on YouTube, right? I'm still here. I'm still going to try, but it's a lot easier. It was a way for the everyday person who can get on, a yapper like me, can set up their camera, take a selfie, and start making money just giving their opinion. And I don't think the government like that. I really don't. And at the end of the day, whether Trump extends gives an extension or not, or they figure something out, TikTok is never going to be the same to me. The authenticity is lost, right? But the creator of TikTok is a billionaire. And y'all know I have very strong feelings about billionaires. They should not exist. They should not exist. And once you're in billionaire tech, I mean, not even just billionaire. Once you're in millions, I think things start to get sketchy. But once you're in billionaire territory, the ethics are oftentimes lost. So TikTok will never be the same. Donald Trump is not a hero if he does grant an extension or whatever, because he brought up the ban in the first place. Okay, I will never forget that because my little pregnant heart couldn't. I'm like, damn, I just need some joy and you're trying to take this away. Okay, so I have very strong feelings. And also, I want to say something to y'all that are not on TikTok but have a lot to say about the ban, or you're happy about it. Give me that phone. Give me that phone, because we are all addicted to our phones. Okay, we all scroll all day. We all doom scroll. We all just be sitting here like going through a series of apps, opening and reopening apps. So don't try to act holier than thou just because you didn't subscribe to that one app that still affected and still had an influence on the things you're doing on these other apps. Okay? At the time that you're hearing this, it will also be the inauguration. The inauguration will probably have happened by the time you hear this. Because I do usually put my video out on YouTube on Tuesdays, and I put the audio out on Monday. So it may or may not have happened. But Donald Trump is getting inaugurated. Lord help us. And it is what it is. I had made some comments about my alma mater going to perform at his inauguration parade, which now I hear has been moved indoors. It's been moved into the Capital One Arena because, it's supposed to be cold. And we don't want him to be cold. Anywho, let's move on. But that really is going to take a lot of eyes off of people who would have seen, my alma mater because of the parade. They're not going to see them. Maybe they're going to broadcast it on TV. But I'm not sure that the people who would need to see them are going to be watching the inauguration. I don't know that. I don't know, because when I think about this thing, because a lot of the conversation, right? And believe me, I've gotten called everything but a child of God for how I feel about it. But I stand 10 toes on what I said. I don't feel like this is a good look for the people who actually we want to enroll in our school, because at the end of the day, yes, they did get donations, they did get donors, but these are people who are donating because of Trump, not because they actually care about HBCUs, not because they care about the legacy of the university, not because they actually want to see Mississippi Valley State do better as an institution. Right? Because the same people that donated are the same people who in the state of Mississippi have done everything that they can to take away funding from the university, and they have tried multiple times to get this school closed. And this is firsthand experience. Firsthand experience. The whole reason that the school is built in the middle of a cotton field is because they didn't want them too close to them. They didn't want the school to be built in Greenwood, not the black school, right? That's why it's in the middle of a cotton field, in the middle of Indianola and Greenwood. So I'm curious, who will this inspire to want to attend the school? I'm not sure the people who we are trying to recruit are going to be watching the inauguration. Some of them might, and we can only hope. But I also think that not having as many eyes on them, because I believe the Capital One Arena only holds 20,000, and before it was supposed to be like 250,000 eyes on them in person. Of course, this will be televised, but again, I don't know who's actually watching that matters to the school. But I hope that it's worth it. I hope that some money comes out of it. I still don't think it was a good look. And because all I really have heard about it is bad PR around Valley. Like, I haven't heard much else, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm a rock with my school regardless, right? It's my alma mater. I'm if they rocking, I'm rolling. Because that's where my degree is from, and I had an amazing time there, but I still don't think it was a good look. But speaking of performers, there's been some discourse because it's come out that on Friday night, I believe Snoop Dogg performed at an event that was for Trump. Okay, and I wanna play something that he said right quick.
So ain't nobody gonna perform for Donald Trump, huh? Which one of you jigaboo ass niggas gonna be the first one to do it? I'm waiting. I'm gonna roast the fuck out of one of you Uncle Tom ass niggas for doing it. Which one of you niggas gonna do it first? Osborne's the one that performs for himself.
Very interesting. Jigga me boo. But let me tell y'all something. At this point, I'm not as invested as I was in 2016. I don't really care that much, but I think that it's very interesting that was in 2016. That was Snoop Dogg's sentiments. Now he's performing for him, right? I also hear Nelly is performing. Rod Wave, I don't know how true that is. Soulja Boy, I heard performed. Rick Ross performed. And it's, I can't say that I'm surprised, because all of those are niggas who seem like they'll do anything for a check to me, right? And it's just very interesting to me, because I know that none of them are going to get the backlash that Chris and Michelle got. Chris and Michelle was successfully canceled. And I don't care. Y'all can say, oh, they weren't as popular or well-known as these people. I don't care. The way that y'all did Chris and Michelle should be studied. Okay? I genuinely like Chris and Michelle's music. But I haven't heard from her on a mainstream level since 2016. Since she did this. Right? And I think it's a conversation to be had about how we are okay with capitalism as long as it's not a black woman. Because at the end of the day, all of this is about us being in late stage capitalism. Okay? Them banning TikTok. it has to do with us being in late stage capitalism. These performers performing at Trump's inauguration, it's money to be made. It's all about them being capitalists, right? But they are not going to get a fraction of the backlash that Chrisette Michele got. And I don't think that's right, because if you are against Trump and you're against performing for him and all of that, be against everybody doing it, not just the black women. But that goes into the conversation about Beyonce. And I know you're probably like, this beehive member always bringing up Beyonce. But listen, it goes into why y'all have made her the face of capitalism. Y'all made this black American woman the face of capitalism. Mind you, her husband is the billionaire. I mean, I'm sure Beyonce's a billionaire. She doesn't report her earnings. But, I mean, y'all have more smoke for her than y'all do for her husband. Honestly, y'all, the only reason y'all have smoke for her husband is because y'all have smoke for her a lot of the time. Let's see. Y'all don't come for Rihanna like that. And y'all be like, oh, Rihanna is relatable. How is a billionaire relatable? How's a billionaire relatable in any sense of the word? Right? But y'all coming for a black American woman like that. Even down to how y'all have interpreted her album versus Kendrick's album versus Bad Bunny's album. And we can take it there, which I like all three of those artists. I'm a fan of all three of those artists. I'm a fan of all three of their latest projects, right? But the way that y'all treat a black Southern woman reclaiming her heritage and putting it on the big screen and showcasing it and showing a love for her heritage and going back to the roots and being like, hey, I am country, so I have a right to be in a space that my forefathers created. The way that y'all have taken that versus what Kendrick, the album that he put out, which is he's a black American man honoring his ancestors, but I don't know, it's perceived much better, right? When he talks about they not like us, it's not perceived in the same way, maybe because it's in rap. I don't know, but I think it has more to do with the fact that Beyonce is a black woman than it does just the genre, right? So now Bad Bunny has made an album, which I think is a great album. I don't speak Spanish, but I resonate with his music because he is Boricua, right? And I resonate with a lot of Caribbean culture, just because a lot of it in Black American culture and Caribbean culture, a lot of it originates and is influenced by enslaved Africans, right? So there's a connection there. You know, even though our cultures are different, there is a connection there. So I do resonate with it. But the way that has been perceived, you know, this reclamation of, you know, honoring his Puerto Rican heritage, and how it's seen as beautiful, right? Versus Beyonce honoring her Southern Texas heritage, her Louisiana heritage, her Alabama heritage, this deep South heritage. I see the difference. Y'all said she's a propagandist. All of it is propaganda, if that's the case, if that's how you want to talk about it. But y'all only give the negative connotation of propaganda to her. And I just think that Black American women deserve better. If you're not going to hold these rappers to the same standard that you hold Chrisette Michele to, save it. I really don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear your reasoning. I don't want to hear. I hold them to the same standard or leave it on the playground. But I don't think people really care. I think people just like to have something to be angry about. And at the time, that was what they wanted to be angry about. But now they just don't care. They can turn a blind eye to it. No, like, y'all got her up out of there in a way that I have never seen before. Like, y'all got Chrisette Michele up out of here. And that's seeing the way that y'all did Chrisette Michele. That's like, y'all got Chrisette Michele out of here before y'all got R. Kelly out of here. And that's saying something. Cause y'all really ain't even got him out of here For real. Y'all still be doing, well, y'all used to do TikToks to his music, but you can't do that anymore. Ha ha. But seeing that is why I felt so strongly about Valley not performing at the inauguration, because I'm like, oh, y'all get people up out of here. But I guess y'all pick and choose who y'all want to get up out of here. If you're a fan of them, you're not gonna get them up out of here. That's fine. Y'all want to pick and choose, that's okay. But I hold everybody's feet to the fire, period. News, it's not just Inauguration Day. It is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, okay? Shout out to the King, okay? Dr. King. I still can't believe the inauguration is on Dr. King Day. You know, and on the flip side, if there was another candidate who was getting inaugurated on Martin Luther King Day, that would have been such a PR move for America. Such a good PR move for America. But no, quite the opposite. But you know, rest in peace, Dr. King. Rest in peace to all of our great crusaders who came before us and set the path for us to walk in. You know, actually, I was about to go into a tangent about some of my thoughts, but that's enough. I've done enough yapping for today. But happy birthday, Dr. King. Okay, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. I'm gonna wrap it up. Okay, I'm gonna keep it cute and put it on mute. Okay, I'm learning to know when to shut my mouth. I hope that you all learn to do the same. All right, y'all, have a good one.